So going back to constitutional power of taxation. So we know in India, constitution is the supreme authority for us to, with respect to anything that happens in India. You without the help of constitution, you can't even make a law. You can't even collect the tax from the people. You can't even set any rules to the people, because constitution gives a lot of things for us. Constitution, especially constitution speaks about fundamental rights. Preamble is there. Preamble has a set of objectives and set of guidelines. Then we have something called as fundamental rights, and also we have something called as directive principles of state policies. So your formation of anything should not violate the preamble, should not violate the items that are set in the preamble. It should not violate the fundamental rights of individuals. And whatever you frame as law, should be in compliance with the directive principles of state policy. This is what constitution says. Of course, directive principles of state policy cannot be questioned in the court of law. It is not justifiable. But when it comes to fundamental rights, they can also be always be questioned in the court of law, because there is a remedy for it. And preamble is to be complied with, is what court has given us as a direction with respect to different cases. So when considering all these things, one factor will come into picture: how to collect the tax with the help of constitution. Obviously this question will be there. It is not only for constitution. You have to study this basis for every law that you are going to study. But since we are into the topic of constitution, we need to focus more on this area now. So constitution, from where the power derives, how the charge comes, is what we need to focus on. So speaking about that, Article 265, we said Article 265 of the Constitution. I hope it is visible on the screen. Article 265, whatever is written there. Article 265 of the Constitution says, no tax shall be levied or collected except by the authority of law. The state shall be collecting the tax only with the help of law. So whenever the word law is used, obviously you need to divert your attention to Article 245. I did not cover this Article 245 in the previous class, because Article 245 is the power is the article which gives the power to make laws. First of all, Article 245 gives the power to make the law. So reading Article 245, what does it say? Subject to the provisions of Constitution. Article 245 says subject to the provisions of Constitution. That means Constitution is supreme to us. Subject to, that means something has to be considered before reading this article. You have to read the entire Constitution. You have to understand, you have to consider the entire Constitution, so that this compliance, these provisions can be complied with. Subject to the provisions of Constitution, of this Constitution, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, Parliament may make laws for the whole or any part of the territory of India. So it is from Article 245, the central government or the Parliament derives its power of making the laws. Article 245. Of course, Article 246 will come. But before Article 246, we need to see from where the lawmaking capacity will come. Lawmaking capacity comes from Article 245. So 245 says subject to the provisions of Constitution, the Parliament, that is central government, we can say central government or Government of India, the Parliament may make laws for whole of India or any part of the territory of India. Okay. Next one, the legislature of the state may make laws for the whole or any part of the state. So now this is given to the state government. So Article 245 gives powers to whom? Both central government and state government. That is why we said our form of government is quasi-federal form of government. It is not a unitary form of government, neither federal form of government. It gives power to both of them. But it is just that the citizens will be considered as citizens of India rather than citizens of every state. So you don't have dual citizenship, like state citizenship and central citizenship is not there. But the lawmaking capacity rests with both the governments. Obviously, when there is two part, Constitution is telling two things here. State government can also make the laws. Central government can also make the laws. Constitution is saying two things. State government can make the laws. Central government can make the laws. Obviously, conflict will come. Now, the same Constitution which has given the power to central government as well as state government says you have to make the law with respect to matters as said in Article 246. As said in Article 246. So going to Article 246, what does Article 246? Subject matter of the laws. So 245 gave us the power to make the laws. Article 246 is telling which are the matters to be covered, which are the matters, who has to cover which matters. So subject matter of laws made by Parliament and Legislature of State. Article 246 clause 1 says, notwithstanding anything in clauses 2 and 3, notwithstand a clause. That means nothing is relevant to us. You are going to read Article 246 clause 1 first. Article 246 1 is supreme. What does it say? Parliament has exclusive power to make laws with respect to any of the items, any of the matters enumerated in Union List. So Union List consists of lot of items. I have marked entries 82 to entry 91. Entry 82 to 91. What is entry 82 to 91? Matters with respect to taxation. So tomorrow if a question comes, taxation power of constitution or constitutional provisions for taxation, while writing Article 246, you have to write entries 82 to 91. I don't want you to pick each and every item and write, but you have to focus on entries 82 to 91. Because entries 82 to 91 will give the taxation provisions for making the laws to central government, Coming to the next part, if you go to clause 3 of the same Article 246, if you go to clause 3 of the same Article 246, subject to the clauses 1 and 2, after reading the clause 1 and 2, so clause 2 speaks about concurrent list, which is not relevant for taxation part. 246 clause 2 is not relevant for taxation part. That is why I have kept it aside. Okay. So subject to clause 1 and 2, the legislature of any state has exclusive power to make the laws for such states or any part thereof. So Article 245 said us state government can make the laws. Article 245 said us state government can make the laws. Now Article 246 is saying, yes, state government can make the laws based on 7th schedule list called as state list. Based on the list in the 7th schedule called as state list. There are entries number 46 to 63 speaks about taxation. Entry number 45 to 63 speaks about taxation. Tell me yes if you are clear with this, whatever I am speaking now. I covered Article 265. Article 265 said to collect the tax you need a law. So I read Article 245. Article 245 said me that laws can be made by either the Parliament or state legislature. So once I came to know that both the government can make, obviously conflict will come. So to avoid the conflict, Article 246 was introduced. Article 246 clause 1 said those matters which are listed in Union List, Parliament will be making. Article 246 clause 3 said those matters which are in the state list, state government will be making the laws. Continuing further, is this clear for you? Tell me yes if you are clear. Everybody, I want each one of you to respond so that your participation, I can just make out your participation in the class. Yes, I want each one of you to reply if you are clear with this. I'll be proceeding for the next point. If you are clear, please do put a point there. Yes, yes, I want each one of you to put a yes there. Yes, no matter what you are, no, like at any age, that doesn't matter. Your response is very important for me. That's it. Right. Super. Chalo. Going on ahead, based on this provision, that is based on Article 246, based on Article 246 and 245 and 246, we can understand that with the help of entry number 82, taxes on income other than agricultural income, that is what entry 82 says, because of which income tax has been brought into force in India. So income tax comes into force in India with the help of entry number 82. Tell me which government has the power to make rules with respect to entry number 82? Entry number 82. Which government has the power to make the rules? Entry number 82 of list 1. I'll say list 1. Entry number 82 of list 1. Very good. It is union government. Fantastic. So income tax rules are made by central government. Income tax rules are made by central government because of this point. Coming to entry number 83, duties on customs including export duties. Whenever you bring goods into India, taxes can be collected on such goods. That is covered under entry number 83. Tell me, who has the power to levy tax in the case of entry number 83? Who has the power? Tell me. Who has the power to collect the tax in case of entry number 83? Entry number 83, who has the power? Again, union government. Very good. So list 1 we can read off list 1, because we have seen here entries 82 to 91, central government of list 1. Okay, these are not continuing lists, these are two different lists. So I forgot to write list 1. Okay, no problem, but still have a clarity there. Is it clear for you? Is it clear for you? Yes. Now there was a challenge between in front of the government. Government now challenge it. What is the challenge? I feel if I use Kannada, you will be okay with this. Okay, Kannada use madidre, are you comfortable? Yes. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm taking up the class in Kannada, and some points I'll be using. I'll be explaining in Kannada because there are many people who want it in Kannada. That is why. Okay, some people are saying no. Okay, for them English will be there. Don't worry. So due to this advance, due to Article 245, Article 246, of course, central government, state government, both had the power. Both had the power. But what happened is, with respect to matters which are there in list number 1, state government could not make any laws. With respect to matters which were there in list number 2, central government could not make any laws. Because of that, whenever a goods was manufactured, when something was manufactured, central government used to collect something called as central excise. Central excise was collected by central government because of list 1. List 1 said manufactured goods, central government had the power to collect the tax. Now, when same goods were traded, that means when same goods were bought and sold, state government levied something called as VAT, value added tax. State government used to put something called as value added tax. So central excise was levied by central government on the same goods. Whenever it was traded, bought and sold, state government used to levy something called as VAT, value added tax. Later on, what happened? So again, 2 types of tax. Now, when the goods used to trade between the states, from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh, when goods used to move from one state to another state, what happened? While this happened, of course, central government used to collect the tax in the name of central sales tax, CST, central sales tax. So central government used to collect the tax when goods were manufactured. State government used to collect the tax when goods were traded. When goods were traded between the state, again central government used to collect the tax. If it was services like your advocate service or chartered accountant service, or housekeeping service, any service for that matter, if an agency is giving any service, security guard service tax was used to be collected by central government. Central government used to collect something called as service tax. So this is how the tax structure was there in India, which wanted a reform. So earlier, prior to 2017, condition in India was such that whenever a goods was manufactured, ಯಾವುದೇ goods ಅನ್ನು manufacture ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಆ goods ನ ಮೇಲೆ central excise duty ಅನ್ನು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಬಕಾರಿ ಸುಂಕ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅಬಕಾರಿ ಸುಂಕವನ್ನು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದೇ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪೆನ್, ನಾನೊಂದು ಪೆನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಪೆನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಈ ಪೆನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಪೆನ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಷನರಿ ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ಟೇಷನರಿ ಶಾಪ್ನವರು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೇಲ್, value added tax, that is your sales tax, value added tax was to be given, that was collected by state government. If the sale was happening between one state to another state, Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka to Chennai, Karnataka to Kerala, one state to another state, if this goods was going from one state to another state, the sales tax was supposed to be paid to central government in the name of central sales tax. This is with respect to goods. With respect to services, what happened? Whenever service was rendered, no matter whether it is within the state or outside the state, the tax was supposed to be paid to central government in the name of, say, service tax. The tax was supposed to be paid. If you want, I'll just list down here. So earlier, with respect to goods and with respect to services, this is a kind of indirect tax. We explained what is indirect tax in previous classes. So with respect to goods, when goods were manufactured, excise duty was collected by central government. Excise duty was collected by central government. When goods were sold or traded, value added tax was collected by state government. If sales was between the states, then central sales tax was collected by central government. Central sales tax was collected by central government. This is with respect to goods. If a service is rendered, for example, your advocate service, accountant service, or any other service, engineering service, construction service, any service you take, if service was rendered, tax was collected in the name of service tax. And this service tax was collected by central government. So lot of taxation was there, which people were finding it very difficult, and also the cost of the goods were rising up like anything. Provisions were too much. Sales tax was there, VAT was there. A person had to deal with lot of things. Even government was finding it very difficult to administer all these things. So what did government decide is, government decided to have a uniform type of taxation. Government wanted to bring a uniform type of taxation where the control lies with both central government and state government. But Article 246A did not allow both the central government and state government to take decision in same matters. ಒಂದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಲಾ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರೊವಿಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್. Because of which 101st amendment was introduced to the constitution. 101st amendment was introduced to the constitution, which made several changes in the constitution. 101st amendment was introduced in the constitution. 101st amendment brought up a very important section called as Article 246A. Article 246A simply said, with respect to taxation of goods and services, state government as well as central government could make the laws. So I'll read Article 246 for you. Article 246A said, notwithstanding anything contained in Article 246 and Article 254. Article 254 for time being, let us keep aside. Article 246 is already read by us. So notwithstanding anything contained in Article 246, Parliament and subject to Clause 2, the legislature of every state had power to make laws with respect to goods and service tax. With respect to goods and service tax imposed by union or by such state. So goods and service tax was levied in India with the help of Article 246A. With the help of Article 246A. So what did it say? Article 246 says central government, state government list, but we are going to introduce a new article which will give power to both central government and state government. For state government, there are some conditions. What is the condition? Subject to Article 2. Article 2 says Parliament has exclusive power to make laws with respect to goods and services where the supply of goods or services or both take place in the course of interstate trade. So if the taxation, if the transaction is between the states, maybe services or goods, both the cases central government alone will have the power. If it is within the state, state government will have the power to make the laws. If it is outside the state, that is between the states, central government will have the power. In both the cases, central government can frame the laws. That is why GST has both central government's power and state government's power. That is why GST has control in both the state, central part and state part. Next one, Article 269A was introduced. Article 269A said goods and service tax on supplies in course of interstate trade or commerce shall be levied and collected by Government of India and such shall be apportioned between the state. That means to say, when a goods is going to be moved from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, when a goods was supposed to be moved from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, the tax was collected by central government. Later on, central government would divide this between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. State government would divide this between. It is left to central government. Central government. How it is to be divided, for that laws are there, separate laws are there, which we will be referring later. But central government will collect the entire tax, then it will be apportioning it to the state. That provision was introduced with the help of Article 269A. That provision was introduced with the help of Article 269A. So 249A said what? 249 helped us to levy GST, wherein Parliament as well as state legislature would make the laws. 249A clause 2 said, with respect to interstate transaction, maybe services or goods, with respect to interstate ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಗಳು, ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುದಾದ್ರೆ, in such cases rules would be made by Parliament, that is your central government. Otherwise, both central government and state government would levy the tax. Article 269A said, with respect to interstate transaction, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುವ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ. That is what you saw in recent newspapers. There was lot of conflict going on. Central government is saying we don't have money to pay you. They are asking state governments to take loan which will be repaid later. That is why people were shouting that central government is not giving the money and all. Because of Article 269A. Because of Article 269A. Article 269A gave the power to central government to collect the tax and then to apportion between the state government and central government. That is what Article 269A is. Coming to Article 279A, for the purpose of administration of GST, a GST council was to be constituted. You can see GST council meeting was there. GST council meeting was there, where all the state governments, finance ministers or some assigned persons will take over as a member of GST council. Finance minister will be the head of GST council. All these things are there. GST council, formation of GST council and all. This GST council also was created with the help of constitution, that is Article 279A. Article 279A said, constitution empowers the president to constitute a joint forum of center and state, namely Goods and Service Tax Council, GST Council. GST Council was the advent of Article 279A, where president would frame a council called as GST Council, where both state government as well as central government members would participate and take the decision with respect to GST. Take the decisions with respect to GST. This is the overall constitutional provision of Indian taxation. Indian taxation, if at all it is there, it comes from all these provisions. And one more provision is there, that is Article 276. One small provision, that is Article 276. What does Article 276 say? No law of legislature of a state relating to taxes for the benefit of the state or for the municipality, district board, local board or other local organization therein in respect to professions, trade, callings or employments shall be invalid on the ground that it relates to tax of income. See, income tax would be levied only by central government. This is what Article 246 list 1 said. But for the administration purpose of state, of course, people are working in different states. When people are working in states, state government should have some benefit out of it. For that purpose, for those people who are professionals, for those people who are into trade, for those people who are into callings, for those people who are into employment, state government would collect the tax. This tax was called as professional tax. If you ask your seniors, or if you ask your any lawyers, or if you ask your parents, they will pay something called as professional tax. If they are salaried people, they will pay 200 per month. Or if they are professionals, they will pay 2,500 per year. This actually comes from Article 276. This is actually paid to the state government. The professional tax is paid to the state government, and that power of taxation comes from Article 276. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ವೃತ್ತಿ ತೆರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ವೃತ್ತಿ ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ಸ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 276 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Now article 276 ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪವರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Who is going to make the laws in this? At least tell me. Article 276 ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾರು law ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Who will be making the laws? As per article 276, who will be making the laws? Very good. Sushrit has said it right. It is state government which will be making the laws. So ಇದರ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 246A ಮತ್ತೆ 276, sorry, article 246 and 276 are conflicting in nature. That is why they used the word no law, negative terms. What are they trying to say? Let us understand. Article 246 prakara, as per article 246, tax on income shall be collected only by central government. Tax on income shall be collected only by central government. Now when income is earned, it is of course the state resource which is getting used. So it will be injustice on the part to deny states right to collect the tax. And also state has to earn some income out of these things. For that purpose, maybe for the administration purpose, maybe for the local government purpose, for that purpose, what constitution said is they introduced article 276. So article 276 said, if state government is going to make a law, if state government is going to make a law with the help of which it will be collecting tax on profession, trade or employment. If it is going to take the tax in the name of profession, in the name of trade, in the name of employment, that means who are professionals, who are traders, who are employees, from them if the state government is going to collect the tax, this law will not be constructed as an income tax law. This is not going to be called as income tax law. So state government is given the power to collect the tax on professions, trade and employment. State government is given the power to collect the tax in the name of profession, trade, employment. But they have put a maximum limit. They said it shall not exceed 2,500 rupees. Constitution said the state which is going to levy the tax on these people shall not collect more than 2,500 per year from single person. From a person, state will not collect more than 2,500 rupees. That is why state government levies profession tax at 2,500. This can change from state to state, but of course it is standard practice. It is standard practice to collect 200 per month in case of employment, and in case of profession and trade 2,500 per year. You are going to pay to the state government in the name of professional tax. Of course, this need not be applicable to all class of employees or all class of salary earning people. It depends on state government to state government. In Karnataka, they have made rules like Avinash said, for 15,000 rupees, those people whose salary crosses 15,000 rupees, they have to pay 200 per month as professional tax. Different states have different rules. So this is what is all about constitutional provision of taxation, constitutional provision of taxation, constitutional power of